Hello, Tom Votava here, and here we have Castlequest for NES. A little bit off the beaten track game, but a puzzle that I found very interesting. This is a speed run of the game that is done in just over 20 minutes. Where I pretty much just try to blaze my way through the castle and rescue the princess in the shortest amount of time. First thing I'm going to do is turn the music off because this is going to get annoying real fast. Okay, now that we can all think. Okay, here's what's going on. There are 100 rooms in this castle, and the way to get around each of them is to unlock all of its many doors. There are 6 different colors of doors and 6 different colors of keys that open them. There's different levels of amounts of each door, but in the end, what really matters is how many keys are available to open them and what makes the shortest path. It was actually very difficult to deduce, and quite honestly, until I found a map on the internet that showed all 100 rooms at once, it was almost an impossible task. What we have here, though, is pretty much as optimized as I can make it. We have, as you can see, ways of getting around the castle without necessarily opening every door. In that room there were plenty of doors that I could have opened, but just didn't. But I still managed to collect all the keys that I wanted to, and just, as soon as I had what I needed, just moved on with life. The key, no pun intended, is to not waste any keys and not run out of keys when you reach certain parts of the castle. Now, strategy aside, here's a bit of a diversion from that. Here we have a little problem with this fireball. There's actually a little trick I came up with, intentionally dying against it. I got crushed against the ceiling by that elevator because I didn't get off of it in time, while simultaneously getting that fireball to follow me and kill me as well. I crushed not only myself, but also the fireball by doing so, and it'll never come back now. As you can see, there are many different ways to kill some of the enemies. Most of them can be killed with just your sword, which actually looks more like a small dagger. But there are some enemies that can only be killed by hitting them with bricks. You spend a lot of time in this game waiting. These elevators are not exactly express elevators. And here we have to go in and out of the room quickly in order to reset all of the falling bricks. And then occasionally we're forced to solve a little bit of a puzzle in order to move on into different places. Here we see a basic brick moving solution where you have to move the bottom 2 bricks just so to create enough space for you to push the upper one. That enables you to jump your way into the higher level. At first glance, it may seem like you're just cornered and unable to do anything other than turn back, but as you can see, there are ways to do it. That was a little slip there. Fortunately, I didn't waste any time because this elevator was on its way up and I couldn't possibly get on it until it reached the bottom again. Okay, here's a repeat of that fireball room, and once again, no trouble this time. And this gave you an idea of what we were doing. We started in the lower left corner of the castle. The princess is on the top floor near the right side. We're working our way across the bottom to the right side, and then we'll be able to climb almost directly to the very top. And then from there we'll be able to beat the game. First we got one more trick to deal with here. In this room there's this blue item just to the right of the elevator here. Those are oxygen masks. It gives you the ability to breathe underwater for a short amount of time. It's going to be necessary because this elevator actually leads to the bottom of a pool of water. Somehow you're able to not drain the pool through the elevator. You figure out the physics on this. But there you are underwater, and you're currently invulnerable to the properties of that, and even have a small music change, which I'll show briefly. Okay, that repeats badly. Well, when the music changes back to the original annoying tune, that's when you know that you are clear no more, and you have to get out of the water before that happens. After a while you get a feel for the timing, but as you can see it didn't matter much for what I was trying to accomplish. Okay, here's a tough puzzle. That arrow, that block with the arrows on it that I pushed at the top of the screen, that moved this little, what do you want, a pulley system? And pushing it one way pushes it up, pushing it the other pushes it down. The idea here is to grab the keys that were in the way, but it's also important for another reason. We need to get to that blue door on the right, and we just can't do it. It would have taken several maneuvers with that pulley system to get it done. However, there's more than one way to get to the next room, and I chose to avoid that. So here's another set of oxygen lungs, and that brings us to the far lower right corner of the castle, where there is obviously a little bit more water to deal with. And now we have 8. And now we have 8 more. Yeah, unfortunately going up is the painful part. There's not a whole lot to this.